Hi, boys and girls. I brought some really special things with me today because now we are in the season of Advent. We're all waiting for the birth of Jesus. It's his birthday on Christmas. First of all, we brought the Advent candles, and you'll notice there are three purple and one pink. This past Sunday, we lit the first purple candle, and then on the third Sunday, we'll light the pink one. The purple ones, boys and girls, symbolize the when Jesus was suffering so much during the time. And then when we get to the pink candle, we know that it's coming, the rejoicing, because Christmas is getting close. I also brought an Advent calendar. This is one that we've been using in our family, and each day you may have one too. You get to open a little door. So we've opened door number 1 and door number 2, and tonight we'll look for door number 3. Sometimes, like when I was a little girl, there'd be a little picture behind the door to look at. Now they have them sometimes with a special treat, and you can have the treat when you open the special door. Gives you a countdown because there are 4 Sundays and 25 days till we get to Christmas and the birth of Jesus. Now, I'm going to light the first purple candle like we did this Sunday. Moms and dads can always do this for you if you have an Advent wreath at your house. And I have just a little prayer that we can say with it. Lord God, let your blessing come upon us as we light the candle of this wreath. Amen. And then it burns, and boys and girls, it's a special tradition that you can do with your family too. I have one more special thing on my table here, and I bet you know what this flower is. It's the poinsettia flower, and it also is a flower that symbolizes Christmas. You'll see them everywhere that you go. I brought the poinsettia today because in our book today, we're going to read about a legend of a little girl who lives in Mexico, and it's going to involve the poinsettia flower. Shall we get started and see what that's about? The Legend of the Poinsettia, and it is told by Tommy de Paulo. Let's see what this legend is about this little girl. I was very excited when I found this because I had not heard this story before. Lucida lived in a small village high up in the mountains of Mexico with her mama, her papa, and her younger brother and sister, Paco and Lupe. Papa worked in the fields with their burro Pepito, and every evening Lucida would feed Pepito, give him fresh water, and fill his stall with clean straw. There he is right over here. At home, Lucida helped Mama clean their casita, their little house, and pat out the tortillas for their meals. She took care of Paco and Lupe, and each evening they went to the shrine of the Virgin of Guadalupe near the front gate to see if fresh candles were needed. But every day was not work. On Sunday, the family went to San Gabriel in the square where Padre Alvarez said the Mass. And all through the year, there were fiestas and holy days, which always began with a procession that wound through their village and ended at San Gabriel. It's always fun to have a procession, a special celebration, isn't it? One day, close to Christmas, La Navidad, Padre Alvarez came to their casita. Ah, Senora Martinez, buenos dias, good day, Padre Alvarez said. I am here to ask you about the blanket which covers the figure of the baby Jesus in the Christmas procession. We have used the same one for so many years that it's almost worn out. Because your weaving is so fine, I have come to ask if you would make a new one. Mi padre, Lucida's mother said. I would be honored, and Lucida will help me. Oh, this is a very special thing that they're going to get to do. On Saturday, Lucida and Mama went to the market to buy the wool for the blanket. They chose the finest yarn they could find. At home, Lucida helped Mama dye the wool the colors of the rainbow. Those colors will shine throughout the church, Papa said, as he watched Lucida and Mama string the yarn on the loom. Do you see the loom down here? That's how they're going to weave the new blanket. It takes a lot of work to get it all ready. As Christmas drew closer, everyone in the village was busy. All the mamas were making gifts to place at the manger of the baby Jesus in the church. The papas worked together, putting up the manger scene in San Gabriel. Lucida and the other children went to the church for singing practice for the Christmas Eve procession, when everyone would walk to San Gabriel singing and carrying candles. Once inside, Padre Alvarez would lay the figure of the baby Jesus in the manger, and the villagers would go up and place gifts all around it. Our gift will be the blanket for the baby Jesus, Lucida told all her friends, and I'm helping Mama to weave it. She sounds very proud, doesn't she? One afternoon, a few days before Christmas Eve, Lucida and the children were singing at the church when Senora Gomez came hurrying in. Lucida, you must come home. Your mama is sick and your papa has taken her down to the town to see the doctor. You must take care of your brother and sister until your papa returns tonight. Lucida was frightened. Mama had never been sick before. When she got home, Paco and Lupe were crying. They were so frightened. Lucida tried to comfort them. She made some food and she sat down to wait for Papa. That evening, Papa came in looking tired and worried. He drew Lucida close and said, Lucida, my niña, your mama is ill. Your aunt, Tia Carmen, will take care of Mama until she is well, but I must go back and stay with Mama until I can bring her home. But it won't be until after Christmas. Senora Gomez will take care of you and Paco and Lupe while I'm gone. She will come for you tomorrow. Oh, the children are very worried, aren't they? The next afternoon, Lucida overheard two women talking. Lucida's mama is ill. She will not be able to finish the blanket for the procession. Oh, isn't that a shame? See, the other woman said, we are all so disappointed. Padre Alvarez will have to use the old blanket, the worn out one. When Lucida went home to feed Pepito, she got clothes for Paco, Lupe, and herself, and she looked at the unfinished blanket on the loom. Perhaps I can finish it, she thought. But when she sat down and tried to weave, the yarn got tangled. The more she tried to untangle it, the worse it got. It was no use. She could never finish it all by herself. That was so sweet that she thought she could try. She needs Mama's help. She took the unfinished blanket to Senora Gomez. Oh, Lucida, it is so tangled. There isn't time for me to fix it. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Lucida started to cry. It was her fault that the blanket was ruined. Her family wouldn't have a gift now to place at the manger of the baby Jesus. Don't worry, Lucida. We will go to the procession together. Lucida didn't say anything, but in her heart, she felt that she had ruined Christmas. Oh, she tried her best. Come, Paco, come, Lupe. It's time to go to the procession, Senora Gomez called on Christmas Eve. Where is Lucida? She was nowhere to be found. She was hiding. From the shadows, Lucida watched everyone gather in the procession. The candles were lit. The singing began. The villagers walked to San Gabriel, carrying gifts to place at the manger. Lucida walked along in the darkness and watched the procession go into the church, followed by Padre Alvarez, who was carrying the baby Jesus. Do you see them all processing in? What a special night. Little girl, are you Lucida? An old woman stood in the shadows nearby. See? Lucida answered, wondering who she was. I have a message for you. Your mama is going to be fine, and your papa will bring her home very soon, so you don't have to worry. Now go now into the church and celebrate Christmas with all of the others. Popco and Lupe are waiting for you. I can't. I don't have a gift for the baby Jesus, Lucida said. Mama and I were weaving a beautiful blanket, but I couldn't finish it. I tried, but I only got it tangled up. Oh, Lucida, any gift that you bring is beautiful because it's given, said the old woman. Whatever you give the baby Jesus, he will love because it came from you. But what can I give him now? She was looking all around. Oh dear, she was not prepared with something else. There was a patch of tall green weeds growing in a tangle nearby, and Lucida rushed over and picked an armful. She said, "Do you think these will be all right?" But the old woman was gone. Lucida walked into the church. It was blazing with candlelight, and the children were singing as she walked quietly down the aisle with a bundle of green weeds in her arms. "What is Lucida carrying?" a woman whispered. "Why is she bringing weeds into the church?" another one murmured. Lucida reached the manger scene. She placed the green weeds around the stable, and then she lowered her head and prayed. They were wondering, but she brought something. I think Jesus would love it. A hush fell over the church. Voices began to whisper, "Look, look, look at the weeds." Lucida opened her eyes and looked up. Each weed was tipped with a flaming red star. The manger glowed and shimmered as if there were 100 candles. She brought in weeds, and look at how beautiful now. Oh my goodness, boys and girls, we now saw a very, very special miracle. All of those weeds now look like a beautiful glowing star. That's our poinsettia flower that we were talking about, weren't we? Now, when this happened in Mexico, there was a man from the United States who was a minister to Mexico, and his name was Dr. Joel Robert Poinsett. When he came home in 1830, so very long ago, he brought some of the poinsettias with him to his home in South Carolina. Now, we know this is called a poinsettia, but there are some other names that have been given to this flower. Flor de Fuego would mean a fire flower. Flor de Navidad is the Christmas flower. And Flor de la Nochebuena is the flower of the Holy Night. Now, I hope when you see all of these beautiful flowers, you'll see them in the stores, you'll see them in homes, you'll see them in church. I hope when you see the poinsettia, you will remember the legend that we just read about with Lucida and her weeds that she brought to baby Jesus. I'm glad you got to join with me today, boys and girls. I'll be back next week. Next week we will have 2 candles lit on our Advent wreath. Our poinsettias will be in our homes decorating so beautifully. If you have an Advent calendar, you'll have opened some more doors as we await the birthday of Jesus. So till next week, boys and girls, have a wonderful week. Be kind and get ready for a very special celebration of Christmas. Bye now. See you next time.